let's get started. Coming to find child's pose. So taking your knees as wide as the mat, big toes touching, sit your bum back, and just walking your hands forward. All the way down until your forehead meets the mat. If your forehead doesn't quite meet the mat, using your fists as a little prop or placing a pillow underneath. Extend the arms away from you. Gently close off your eyes and just allow your breath to soften. Noticing as the breath begins to slow. Just focus on, with every exhale, drawing your bum back down towards your heels. Don't worry if it doesn't quite make it there. And with every inhale, trying to expand the ribs. So finding space, finding broadness in the ribs. Take a moment here just to check in with how you're feeling today. How your body's feeling. Are you feeling full of energy, ready to go? Have you just woken up, feeling a little sleepy? Do you feel tight? Do you feel movement and flexibility? Just checking how you feel, noticing, acknowledging that. Not placing any judgment, just acknowledging. Taking a few moments here just to lengthen your inhale and lengthen your exhale in your own time. When you're ready, bringing your breath in through the nose and exhaling out the nose. There's too much to breathe in and out of the nose alone. Just create a tiny gap in the lips and imagine when you exhale, you're blowing through a tiny straw. Just bringing that sense of control, of fluidity to the breath. Together, taking a deep breath in, and a long breath out through the nose. Breathing in, breathing out. Last breath in. And then as you exhale, bring yourself up to your all four position. Lightly flicker open your eyes and bring your gaze down. From here, tuck your toes, sit your bum back but keeping it in the air. Begin to walk your arms away from you, bringing your forehead down, finding your puppy pose. The eyes are open, the breath is soft, breathing in, breathing out. Send your bum to the sky, breathing in, breathing out. As you breathe in, feel the body full of oxygen, energy, nourishment. And then as you exhale, let anything go that doesn't serve you. Any aches or pains, anxieties, breathing in. As you exhale, walk your fingertips over to the right hand side, feeling the stretch along the left side of the body. Breathing in. As you exhale, keep the head where it is and just walk the fingertips over to the left. As you exhale, walk your hands around through center, plant the palms down on the mat and just turn your head so that your right cheek is on the mat and you're taking your gaze over to the left hand side. If you can, bring your right arm down to the mat and then just open up in the left shoulder. Finding space so you can see underneath your left armpit, stick your bum in the air, breathing in. And then as you exhale, roll like a little massage over the forehead as you allow the left elbow to come down the left forearm. And bring your left cheek onto the mat, gazing over to the right, opening up that space underneath the right armpit, breathing in. Exhale, massage rolling over the forehead, coming back to your puppy pose. And then as you inhale, bring yourself up to your all four position. So bring your palms in. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Knees are directly underneath your hips. Draw the belly button to the spine. Really connect in the core of the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you inhale, tuck your toes. Sit your bum back, walk your hands back and come to kneel. Taking your hands into a clasp position in front of you. Begin to make some little circles around to the right. And then to the left. Just warming up our wrists. Releasing out that clasp. Give your hands a little bit of a shake. And then extend your right arm away from you, palm facing away. Turn it so that your fingertips are facing out to the side and then take your left index finger and thumb around that right wrist. From here, really push away with that right palm of the hand. And notice as your shoulder blades separate, you find space in the upper back. You suck your belly in and you extend away. Breathing in. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, extend left hand away, gripping around with the right index finger and thumb, pushing away, palm is open. And out. Breathing in, shoulders drop. Exhale, release it down. And then just make a little fist with your wrist, with your hands, and begin to make some circles with your wrists. One direction. And then the other direction. Beautiful. Release your hands back down, come to find your all four position. Tuck your toes underneath, spread wide in the fingers. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hover your knees, holding here, breathe in. Breathe out, gaze is down, spine and neck are one long line, breathing in. Exhale, extend the legs away and come into your first downward dog, a lazy downward dog. So you rise way up onto the heels, bend your knees, even if you can reach your feet to the ground. For this first one, lift the heel, bend the knees, draw your belly towards your thighs, spread your fingers wide, find the space in the upper back, long flat back, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. And then as you exhale, we're going to raise the right leg up to the sky. Take it over behind you and plant it down so that you pivot both feet away from you and drop your bum down to the mat. Extend right arm away from you. Inhale, raise the bum up to the sky. Really root down in the feet and lift the bum up. And then exhale as you pivot on that left foot. Extend the right leg up to the sky. Really point the right toes. Three-legged dog. Inhale, draw your right knee to the nose, kiss the knee. Exhale away. Inhale, draw your right knee all the way through and plant it down in between your hands, coming up onto your fingertips. As you inhale, really engage the core and draw the thighs in together to stabilize the ground in the lower part of the body. Inhale, rise up to your crescent lunge. Arms reach tall to the sky. Draw the belly button to the spine. Nip the ribs in so we create this core strength. Really reach up tall in the arms, spread the fingers wide, gaze ahead, breathing in. Breathing out. Find lift, find length. Exhale. Breathing in. As you exhale, release your hands back either side of that right foot. From here, either keep that back leg extended or drop the back knee down, release the toes, whatever feels good. Really spread wide in the left fingertips as you inhale and reach your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, release right hand down. Inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. Remember that back leg can be extended or the knee drops. Inhale. Exhale, take it back down. Spread the fingers wide. As you inhale, we sweep, swoosh the right leg all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee and kick away with the foot. Take your gaze underneath your right armpit. Breathe in. Exhale, release it down. Holding here, holding steady. As you inhale, rise up onto your toes. Suck your belly in. Wave the body forward to find your plank. From here, drop your knees, release the toes. Elbows come along the side of the body as you come down as one. Forehead meets the mat. Inhale, keep your gaze down as you raise your head and chest. Draw the shoulder blades together, baby cobra. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, bend your knees, tuck your toes, sit the bum back. Find that lovely puppy pose we did at the beginning of the class. And then as you inhale, extend back up to your lazy downward dog. So our heels are lifted, our knees are bent. We draw the belly towards the thighs. Nip the ribs in, find that flat back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, extend left leg up to the sky. Take it over behind you. Pivot the feet so that they're facing away. Sit your bum down on the mat. Make sure you connect. And then as you inhale, you lift up. Reaching tall. You can even come up onto those left toes if it feels good. Exhale. Take the left hand back down, pivot on the right toes. Extend the left leg up to the sky. Inhale, draw your left knee to nose, kiss the knee. Exhale away. Inhale, draw your left knee all the way through, plant it in between your hands. Take a moment to get there. You can use your hands to help you. Extend away in the right heel, take your gaze down, breathe in. As you exhale, engage the core, reach up tall, crescent lunge, breathe in. Breathe out. And then find that extra height. Notice as you can raise up in the body. Root down in all four corners of that left foot. And we're on our right toes. The right heel is lifted. Breathing in, spread the fingers wide, growing tall. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, sweep, swoosh that left leg all the way up to the sky. We're on our right tippy toes. Exhale, bend the left knee, open up in the hip. Take your gaze underneath your left armpit, breathing in. Exhale, extend it away. Release it down. Inhale as you raise up onto your toes, suck the belly in, wave the body forward, holding it steady, holding it strong. Breathe in. Exhale, drop your knees, release the toes. Elbows come along the side of the body as you come down as one. Check that your palms are either side of your chest, and then as you inhale, raise your chest and head off the mat. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, we're doing it again. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, see if you can come a little higher this time. Maybe you can raise your belly button off the mat. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, rising up again a little higher. Exploring to find your own limit. So maybe you found that now. So just continuing for a few more, staying there. Really think about drawing your elbows in towards each other and engage in your core. If you're still coming with me, you can come all the way up if that's okay. No pain in the lower back. Breathing in. Releasing down, elbows along the side of the body. Last one, all the way up. Breathing in. Gaze ahead. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, bend your knees, tuck your toes. Sit your bum back to your puppy pose. One breath in. Exhale, reach tall. Find your downward facing dog. This time, really ensure that your palms are wide, your fingers are securely pushing down into the mat. Find that flat back. Raise onto your toes, bend your knees, but then begin to root down in your heels. So just see if you can find length in the back of the legs. Perhaps you can go a little further than you could last week. Perhaps your body isn't really suiting that this week. That's fine. Just listening, noticing how you're feeling today and working with that. Breathing in. Breathing out. We have 5 breaths. Keep your gaze towards your big toes. Imagine that you're wrapping your armpits around the front of the ears. So actively find space in the upper back as you wrap your arms forward. Push down into all of your fingertips. Root the knuckles down. Breathe in. out, finding space in the back as we lift our bum towards the sky. 2 more deep breaths in. Long exhale. Breathing in. This time as you exhale, take your gaze in between your hands. As you raise up onto your toes, inhale, reach your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, draw your right leg all the way through so you come back into your runner's lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Reach tall, find that sense of length, breathing in. And then this time as you exhale, we're going to twist the body so the arms come out to the side and you take your gaze away from the screen. Spread your fingers wide, breathing in. Our gaze is to the right. Our arms, our palms are facing out to the right. Reach up tall in this twist, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. As you inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, find your crescent lunge, find length, breathe in. Exhale, release your hands down. Inhale, sweep the right leg all the way up to the sky, gaze follows. Exhale, take your 3-legged vinyasa if available, or drop that back knee, but drop that back leg. Open up into your upward facing dog, flowing through our vinyasa, rolling over the toes, finding our downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one, long breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, sweep the left leg up to the sky, raise onto your right toes. Inhale, draw it through and plant it down in between your hands. Coming up onto your fingertips, runner's lunge. Inhale, rising to our crescent lunge, reaching up tall, draw the glutes together. Notice what happens. Instead of dumping down, we reach up tall, spread the fingers wide, gaze ahead, breathing in. This time as we exhale, we take our gaze over to the left, arms spread wide to the left. Palms are open to the left-hand side, breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, you come back around through center, finding your crescent lunge, nip the ribs in, breathing in. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, sweep, swoosh the left leg to the sky. Exhale, if you want to, 3-legged vinyasa. If you're 3-legged vinyasa, your elbows are along the side of the body. We flip the toes, opening to our upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes. Downward facing dog, breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, right leg comes to the sky. Raise onto your left toes. Exhale, take it over behind you. Take the toes to face away from you. Drop your bum. Make sure your bum actually connects down to the mat, down to the floor. And then as you inhale, reaching up tall. Finding that swoosh. Exhale, pivot on the left toes. And then take your right hand down. Extend your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, draw your right knee to your nose. Exhale away. Inhale, draw your right knee to right elbow. Body weight comes forward. Exhale away. Inhale, draw right knee to left elbow, cross the body. Exhale away. Release it down. Inhale, left leg goes to the sky. Exhale, take it over behind you, pointing the toes away. Make sure you find that positioning. Drop your bum. Reach the left arm all the way to the sky. Breathe in, send the bum up, opening up, reaching back. Inhale. Exhale, pivot on the right toes, lifting the left leg, left hand plants down into the mat, extend the left leg away. Release the left foot down. Take your gaze in between the mat, crunch your bum back, and then either step or jumping without any sound to the front of the mat. Inhale to find length. Exhale to fold it forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, release your hands through your heart center. Allow the arms to come along the side of the body. From here, place one hand in your belly, the back of the left hand of the lower spine, and tuck that bum under. Make sure you tuck it under, reach up, find the length, allow the arms to come along the side of the body. Legs zip up. unless there's any uncomfort in the hips, in which case taking them hip distance apart. If you can, big toes and heels touching, palms facing forward, Tadasana, your mountain pose. The real foundation of our standing pose, so take the time to align yourself. Your vertebrae are running one long line up the back, all the way to the base of the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Now extend the fingers so much that you can feel that sort of sensation, that tingle at the fingertips. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, folding forward at the hips, head hangs heavy. Inhale to find your flat back, fingertips or shins. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, either stepping back with the right, stepping back with the left, or jumping back to bend elbows. Inhale, roll over the toes, open up the heart, upward facing dog. If you're in your upward facing dog, the knees, the thighs are lifted. We're on the back of the feet. Breathing in, gazes up. Exhale, rolling over the toes. Everyone meeting together in our downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, draw right knee to nose. Plant it down in between the hands, holding here. Drop your back knee down, release the toes. Extend the right leg so you find length in the right leg. And we're stretching it out. We bring our heart towards our big toe, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathe in, find space, suck your belly in. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows out to the side as you take your heart, your chest towards that right big toe. See if you can sit your bum further back. See if you can find this space. We're working into our half splits here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly with control, bring yourself back up. From here, take your hands to your heart center in prayer. Make sure that your back knee is dropped, the top of the foot is flat down on the mat. And then as you inhale, find length. And then exhale, twisting over to the right hand side so that your left elbow is connected onto the outside of your right knee. Use that connection to twist the body open. Breathing in. Gaze to the sky, breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale slowly with control, coming back around through center. Release the fingertips down, extend the left leg away. If it's too much, you can stay with your back knee dropped. Holding here, gaze ahead, breathing in. And then as you exhale, twisting to the right hand side, use that connection, suck the belly in, opening up, extend away in the left heel, breathe in. And then if you exhale, you may open your wings, open your arms up to the sky, spread your fingers wide, take your gaze up. Really extend away, keeping that left leg engaged. Root down into all four corners of your right foot, breathing in. Exhale, bring the hands back to the prayer. Slowly with control, bring them to center. Inhale, reach tall, find that crescent lunge, breathe in. Exhale, release your hands down either side of the foot. Inhale, sweep your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, release it down, finding your downward facing dog. Rise up onto your toes, suck your belly in, wave the body forward. Holding here, holding strong, either taking your full vinyasa or drop your knees. Release the toes, elbows along the side of the body. Inhale, raise your head and chest. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, bend your knees, tuck your toes, sit your bum back. Find your downward facing dog. Take your gaze in between your hands. Rise up onto your toes. Crunch your bum back. And then jumping up without any sound. Inhale to find length. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, sweeping, swooshing up to the sky. Exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Find your Tadasana. Rooting down, find the alignment. The spine comes up as one long line, like a golden thread. Up the back of the body, and then all the way up to the ceiling. Breathing in, breathing out, gaze ahead. As you exhale, notice how the shoulders automatically drop. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky, gaze follows. Exhale, folding forward at the hips. Inhale to find length, flat back to fingertips or shins. Exhale, bend your knees, either stepping or jumping back to find your plank. Elbows bent. Inhale, roll over the toes, upward facing facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, roll over your toes. Find your downward facing dog. We have 3 long breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Feeling energy to the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, sweep the left leg up to the sky, rise onto your right toes. Inhale, draw left knee to nose. Exhale away. Inhale, left knee, left elbow. Exhale away. Inhale, right, left knee, right elbow. Exhale away. Inhale, left knee all the way to the nose, planted down, coming into your runner's lunge. From here, drop that back knee, extend the left leg away, suck in the belly, find the space. Draw the heart down towards the big toe. Elbows bend back along the side of the body, not out to the side, back along the side of the body. Gaze ahead of you, just in front of that big toe. Breathing in. As you exhale, see if you can sit the bum back a little bit further, keeping the foot firmly on the ground. Don't worry if you're a little bit further up. Don't worry if there's a little bend in that left knee. Just going where your body wants to go. Breathing in. Exhale, going deeper. So the inhale finds the space, and the exhale allows you to draw your bum back. Last breath in. As you exhale, bring the body forward. Bring your hands to your heart center. Reach up tall in the body, gaze ahead, breathing in. And then as you exhale, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, twist the body. Take your gaze up towards the sky. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale slowly with control, bring yourself around back to center. Take your hands to your heart center and then lifting that back leg up. So we're up on our right toes. Extend away through that right heel, lifting up, finding length. Breathe in. Exhale, twisting right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Use that connection to twist the body over to the left hand side. And then if you would like to, you may open your wings, open your arms, take your gaze to the sky. Really think about rooting down in those left four corners of the feet as you extend away, really push away in the right heel. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. As you exhale, bring the hands back to your heart center, slowly with control. Bring yourself into the center. Root down in the left foot, reach up tall, extend your arms to the sky, crescent lunge, breathing in. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, sweep the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, take it behind you and then plant it down on the mat as you sit your bum down. Reach your left hand up to the sky. Inhale, send your hips up and back. And then take your left hand down, raise your left leg up to the sky, pivoting on those right toes, extending it away, breathing in. Exhale, draw your left knee to nose and plant it down onto the mat. As you inhale, you rise up to your crescent lunge. As you exhale, you twist to the right. As you inhale, you come back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, sweep the left leg up to the sky. Take it down to your downward facing dog. From here, inhale, raising up, suck the belly in, wave the body forward. Exhale, elbows come along the side of the body and bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Release out your hips. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Deep breath in. Let it go. Last one, deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then spread your legs as wide as the mat. Take your arms out into cactus so the elbows are bent. Palms are flat down on the mat. Forehead is down on the mat. As you inhale, we're just going to raise the chest, the arms, the head off the mat. So we inhale, gaze stays down, lifting up. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, raising head, chest, arms. Draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale down. Inhale, raise it up. Exhale, raise it down. And then as you inhale, this time we're going to lift arms and legs. Inhale, rise. All the way up to the hips, lifts. So up the thigh, the shins, the knees, feet, everything is off the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, everything up. Keep the gaze down, the spine and neck remain long. Exhale, down. Last 3, raising up. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Last one, inhale, rise. Exhale, release it down. Wiggle out those hips, let go. From here, zip up your legs. And then take your palms either side of the chest. Plant the fingers down, really root down, gripping on your fingertips. Bend your knees, tuck your toes. Send your bum to the sky and find your downward facing dog. From here, inhale, sweep your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, draw your right knee to your nose, plant it down, and then wiggle it out. So that your right foot is on the edge of the mat. Extend your left leg away. And then wiggle your left toes away and see if you can find that extra space. So we're going to come into our lizard position. You can either stay propped up on your hands, or you can come down onto your forearms and see if you can find that stretch, intensify in the inside of the right leg. If this is too much for you, you may drop that back leg. Yogi's choice, do what feels good for you. From here, spread your fingers wide wherever they are, palms are down on the mat, and then just begin to take some little tiny gentle rocks forward and back, gaze is down, draw your belly button to your spine. And then find stillness. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Your next inhale, come back up onto the palms of the hands. Drop your back left knee down if it's not already dropped. Allow that right knee to come out further to the side and use your right palm of the hand just to increase the stretch. Maybe the sole of the right foot raises off and you can feel the stretch intensify down that right glute and the inside of the right thigh, twisting the body. Take your gaze over just in front of the right shoulder. Remember not to just dump down into your left wrist, so we're using the pads, the fingers to protect us here. Breathing in. Exhale, allow that right knee to come in, heel toe the foot all the way into the centre of the mat. Plant the hands down, extend that left leg away. As you inhale, sweep, swoosh the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee, opening up in the hip. Take your gaze underneath your right armpit. Exhale, allow the right leg to come down. Inhale, left leg goes to the sky. Exhale, draw your left knee all the way through, planting it down onto the mat, holding here in your runner's lunge for a moment. Breathing in. And then as you exhale, take the left foot out to the side of the mat. The same as before, really spread the fingers wide, root down into the pads of the fingers and keep that back leg raised if that feels good, or if you want to, you may drop the back knee down. From here, if your back leg is extended, then you have a choice. You may keep your arms straight or you may come down onto your forearms. It's quite an intense pose, so don't feel the need to have to come here. Listen to your body, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Make sure that right leg is extended. You're driving away in the heel. Exhale. When you're ready, bring yourself back up so your arms are straight. Drop the back knee down. And then when you're ready, raise the left arm up to the sky and then take it to the inside of the left thigh so that you're just increasing that stretch in the inside of the left hip. And you notice that the foot raises, the sole of the foot raises off the mat, and you come onto the side of the left foot. Now make sure that you're not pushing into your knee. Your knee is an unstable joint. We never want to touch it. So use the thigh. Opening up in the left hip. Feeling that stretch in the left glute. Breathing in. Making sure you're not dumping down into that right wrist. You're using the pads of the fingers. Using the drawing down sensation of the knuckles. Breathe in. Exhale, release that left foot and then wiggle it into the centre. Spread the fingers wide, extend the right leg away. Inhale, sweep that left leg up the sky. Exhale, open the hip. then extend it away, release it down. From here, raise up onto your toes, suck the belly in, wave the body forward. Exhale, drop the knees, release the toes. Elbows come along the side of the body as you come down as one. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back on your heels, find your puppy pose for a moment. Breathe in. Exhale, begin to walk your feet, your hands up towards the rest of the body. Sweep your legs around so that your feet are out in front of you. Draw your belly button to the spine. Find length in the body, really sitting up nice and tall. Breathing in. Breathing out, allow the arms to extend along the side of the body, palms facing down, toes reach up towards the sky. Keep your gaze ahead of you and just see if you can lift up your heels off the mat. Release them down. Lift them up. Release them down. Lifting and lowering. Check that your shoulders haven't hunched in. We have a tendency to do this, so open them up and back. 4, 5, release them down. 4, release them. 3, toes point towards the sky. 2, last one, raise them, hold. Breathing in. Exhale, let them go. Sweep your legs around behind you. From here, coming to find your all four position, and then spread wide in the left fingers, spread wide and root down into the fingertips. Inhale, sweep your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread your right arm through, stick your bum to the air, and find that your right cheek meets the mat, holding here, breathing in, breathing out. If you want to today, you may wiggle your legs away and come down, so that you're lying on the mat, and then extend your left arm away. Begin to slow that breath. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the left hand back, bend your knees, send your bum to the sky. Inhale, sweep that right arm up to the sky. Exhale, release it down, come back to your all fours. Inhale, sweep left arm to the sky. Exhale, thread it through so you come down onto your left cheek. If you want to, you may stay here, or you may extend your right arm away and begin to wiggle your legs out behind you so you're lying flat on the mat. From here we breathe. Soft and steady. Just releasing out our practice. Using the breath to slow us down. Last breath in. Exhale, bring that right hand back and then wiggle up the bum to the sky. Sweep the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, release it down. Sit back on your bum. Bring the soles of the feet flat down on the mat. From here, extend your arms away, suck your belly in, spread your fingers wide. C-shape the spine, curve the spine, keep your gaze ahead. Notice how you become steadier doing this in each of our practices. We're coming down as one steady pace, rolling down the spine. Gaze stays ahead, suck the belly in, arms extend away, feet are flat on the ground as we roll vertebrae by vertebrae down to the mat. And when we get there, we release it out. Draw your right knee into your chest, draw your left knee into your chest. Wrap your arms around and squeeze everything in super tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeezing it all in. Maybe you draw your forehead in, scrunch up your eyes, scrunch up your toes, making yourself into the tiniest ball possible. Breathe in. Exhale, release, let it go. As we come down into our Shavasana, we allow the eyes to be lightly closed. We let go of the breath. Allow the feet to flop out to the side. Release the knees. Release the hips. Relax the belly. Ribs, the shoulders. Allow that sense of relaxation to come all the way down the arms. Then you could almost hold what feels like a ball of energy in your fingertips, like a glowing sun in each palm of the hand. Relax your jaw. Release the tongue from the top of the mouth. Unclench the teeth. Release the lips. Relax the cheeks. Check that the muscles around the eyes are totally relaxed. Unfurrow the brow. The muscles in the forehead relax. And then allow a sweeping sense of relaxation to just wash over the whole body. As you melt down, you release down into the floor. Notice as the whole body begins to soften. And you just hold on to those two glowing suns in the palms of the hands. These two balls of energy to take with you for the rest of your day. Shavasana is the most important pose of our whole practice. It's the time we give to our body and our mind to absorb all of that hard work that you've done. So take your time here. Any thoughts come into your mind, that's fine. Just acknowledge them, let them be, and then smile as they drift away. You come back to these two balls of energy in the hands. This beautiful softness washing across the whole body. Stay here for as long as you wish, or draw your right knee into your chest, your left knee into your chest, wrap your arms around. Take a moment here and gently rock to your right hand side, the side that brings you energy. Keeping your eyes lightly closed, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Allow the backs of the hands to touch the top of the knees, lightly touching your thumb and index finger as you extend your other three fingers away. Take a moment here to really take a deep breath in. Feel that sense of energy fill up the whole body, and then sigh any last little niggles out. Allow yourself back into the room. Take a moment here to feel truly grateful for the time that you've given yourself today. Bring your hands to your heart center in prayer, sealing your practice, taking the sense of energy with you for the rest of your day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me this morning, and I wish you a beautiful Monday. Namaste.